Hello. I'm going to be brief-ish because I know at this stage of the evening speeches are usually not welcome. So here goes. I'm really just here to hello. That was me. Okay. I'm here really to. You shake it. Somebody else. I'm just here. I'm just here to exhort you to have a lovely celebratory evening. Okay, I'll use that instead. Hello, good, okay, well, I'll come in and talk to you. A lovely celebratory evening, because the world of classic and historic cars and racing is a wonderful one, and worthy of celebration. It's a thriving industry, it's an engaging hobby for me, and you, and people like us, and even in an automotive landscape changing so rapidly, with a forced transition to electric cars, it's a hobby that can be enjoyed, in my opinion, without guilt or shame. But I do worry about the future of the motor car, because from an enthusiast's perspective, so many developments in the car world are unappealing or unattractive. Anyone who buys a new car this year or next, 2024, 2025, will come up against a whole new compulsory active safety features with a blizzard of acronyms: PCS, LDA, PDA, DRCC, RSA. The last mentioned, apart from being, as it happens, my initials, are short for Road Sign Assist. The word assist giving the impression that it's going to help you. An innocuous sounding feature. What actually does, it beeps 3 times if you exceed the speed limit that it is read off road signs by even 1 mph. These features are well intentioned, but goodness me, they're infuriating. What they do deliberately is to remove a lot of the driver's responsibility for observing and controlling the car, rendering redundant a big bit of the driver's brain. If you move from a 2024-25 car to one from even 5 or 10 years ago, you think, oh my goodness, I've been handed responsibility. There's so little beeping or bonging, no jamming on of brakes when you haven't touched the brake pedal. I'd like to pay tribute briefly to 2 more acronyms, the FBHVC and the HCVA, the Federation of British Historic Vehicle Clubs and the Historic and Classic Vehicle Alliance, which promote and protect our industry, lobbying legislators to allow the unfettered use of historic cars, and communicating to the wider public that our environmental impact is relatively insignificant, but that our industry is very significant, employing many thousands of people. Communication is the key. Communicating the importance of synthetic fuels in the future. Communicating the simple truth that keeping an old car going is environmentally a good thing, not a bad thing. And these organizations are doing an excellent job of communicating these truths and deserve our enthusiastic support. I love you. I'm going to leave you with a very brief story about communication. In the mid-1980s, I was involved with a one-off television show called Driving Force, which was a sort of pro-amateur driving contest in which professional racing drivers were partnered with amateur, and you did silly things like driving JCBs and trials cars and things like that. And I remember Nigel Mansell did it, Derek Bell did it, and I was partnered with a British rally driver called Tony Pond, who became a good friend and who sadly died of cancer at a very young age in his 50s. But he was a preeminent British rally driver of his day, and one of his jobs was the development, as a development driver, of a car called a Metro 6R4, which I know many in this room will have heard of. And you can't address many dinners in central London tonight and know that mention of a Metro 6R4 brings a ripple of recognition. Anyway, it was a Group B rally car developed, and it only got a year or two in the spotlight before Group B as a rally protocol was banned. But anyway, Tony was a development driver and as a professional rally driver, then as now, they're often called upon to do press days in which they take journalists for drives in their rally car in order to show it off and attract publicity, hopefully, to the product, to the driver. And one day he was doing a press day and he was assigned this Italian journalist who got in the passenger seat of the Metro 6R4, was strapped in, helmet on, and off Tony went with some alacrity, because he was a very, very quick driver. And he was driving pretty damn quickly, and suddenly this Italian journalist said, "Faster, faster." And he thought, that's all. I thought I was getting a fair lick. Anyway, he upped his game a bit, went to 8/10, 9/10, and was driving as fast as he could on this forest stage. And after a few more minutes, the journalist said again, "Faster, faster." And he said, "Well, how can you say?" He tried to look a little bit harder. And after a few minutes, they came to the end of the stage, and he stopped the car and he turned the engine off. And he said the cabin was filled with the most appalling smell. Because, a very human smell. Because what the Italian journalist had been saying, in fact, was "basta, basta," which means enough, enough. And the surprising reaction of Tony to being asked to slow down or stop was to drive faster. And as a result, as Tony succinctly described it, the man was not alone in his trousers. So communication is very important.
But really, I'm here to represent the cars. Goodness, I'm getting old, I get emotional, sorry. We can't do this without them. And each and every one of them represents what we do to them. And that's important. Because AI could change things. Mm-hmm. We have to be fair to the cars, the history, the people. I look at the restorers and I think, please be careful. Please keep these cars real. Authenticity is all we have. Sorry. I feel a big responsibility. The cars are beautiful, and they couldn't be here without someone like Fritz Burkhardt, who brings his cars to life with his passion. Without all of you, I was good friends with Sterling Moss, and I have to say, loving cars is a passion forever. And when I get in a room of like-minded people and they say, why are cars so wonderful? Why are the people so nice? It's because the cars drive us. So keep driving. Keep them safe.
Thank you, Sandra.